And Courtney, can you see that?
Yes, I can.
All right, great. I thought it would be good to begin tonight's session by talking about what is new at Grand Valley. And during my presentation, I promised not to talk about COVID. I promised not to use the word pivot. I promised not to use any of the other words that are being used out there in our society to sort of remind us of what we've been through the last 16 or 17 months. Not that it wasn't significant, not that it wasn't impactful on our lives, but I really want to focus on sort of what's going on at Grand Valley and what opportunities we have for students. Probably the biggest change that has happened in the last year involves, at least at my level, involves the merger of the College of Community and Public Service with the College of Education into one college called the College of Education and Community Innovation. We worked on this project since probably October of 2020. And through the combined efforts of the faculty, staff, and students from both of the individual colleges, we were able to successfully put together these two colleges into a unit that I think will do wonderful things at Grand Valley and provide wonderful educational experiences for our students and really do a great job interacting with the community. As it relates to our graduate programs, all of the graduate programs that we had in CCPS and all of the graduate programs we had in the College of Education are still there. They will just be in the College of Education and Community Innovation. The merger takes effect tomorrow. So if you take a look at our web pages today, you might find two different colleges. When you come back tomorrow, it'll probably be one college that's CECI, or it's being pronounced CHECI for short. So I wanted to share that with you. I think the programs that are there, also at the undergraduate level, but at the graduate level, will still be the same high quality programs that we had in the past. It's just a merger of the two units. I also want to share with you that we have two new programs that are coming online with students enrolling for the fall semester of 2021. Our first program is in the College of Health Professions, and it's recreational therapy. Our second program is in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, and it is water resource policy. In a couple of moments, I'll share with you a website that can take you to provide you with a lot of information about both programs. We are set up and ready to go. Each program has a graduate program director, and you'll be able to find that individual's contact information on our graduate program web pages. They are enrolling students. They're excited to get started. And I think they really build on the strengths of the faculty and the strengths of the various programs and the support mechanisms we have at GVSU. So recreational therapy combines a lot of coursework and experiences to try to prepare individuals that can use recreational activities as a way, as sort of a therapeutic exercise and therapeutic set of activities to help individuals become better acclimatized into the various experiences that they have. And then from the water resource policy perspective, some can argue, and probably successfully, that water is one of our most valuable resources. And in Michigan, we are surrounded by water on three sides. And there's a whole lot of lakes and streams and rivers within the community. They're all fresh water, and we need to make sure that we protect that resource. So the water resource policy uses coursework and experiences out of biology and public administration and business administration to put together an interdisciplinary program that provides a good, solid foundation for the work that's going to be done by graduates. So very excited about those two new programs. And then I wanted to talk with you just briefly about our graduate education portfolio. Over the last 10 years, but really within the last sort of 6 or 7 years, we've worked on expanding our portfolio. We now offer badges, certificates, in addition to our degree programs. So if you're not familiar with what badges are, they are made up of anywhere from sort of 2 to 3 credit experiences, all the way up to maybe 9 credit experiences, where it's different courses, different opportunities, different professional experiences that are put together, and they provide you with a badge. So examples of badges could be a cybersecurity badge, there's a data analytics badge, there's an emerging leadership badge. And the nice thing about these badges is you can take the graduate education in bits and chunks, and you can put these badges together and use them for a certificate, or you can use them for a degree program. Leads me into certificates. Certificates generally are clusters of courses and experiences that are between 12 and 18 credits in size. Badges can be used for certificates. Certificates can be standalone uh, groups of courses that help you develop a skill. So we have certificates in bioinformatics and genomics, interprofessional health informatics, palliative and hospice care, among a number of other ones. And the nice thing about those certificates is they can be used for degree programs. We have 46 graduate degree programs. When I came to Grand Valley 11 years ago, we had 26. So we've increased our portfolio by 20 graduate degree programs. I think they are all high quality degree programs, and I think they are ones that really draw upon the strengths of the university and the faculty and the Grand Rapids and West Michigan community. What I'd like to do is briefly leave my presentation and go to the the graduate school's grad program pages. And Courtney, can you see this page? It says grad program podcast at the top.
Yes.
Okay. A couple of things that I want to point out here. For all of our graduate programs that we have at the university, we have podcasts that are around 3 to 6 minutes long that you can listen to when you're driving in the car, you're walking to maybe get some exercise, you're working out at the gym, whatever it might be. And it's a real short, very informative podcast that gives you the background about the program, what its primary intent is, how you can enroll in, apply to the program, get accepted, enroll in the program, and what you can then do with that degree. The podcasts are probably some of our most visited websites that we have on our grad school webpage. But this page here also contains all of our links to our master's and doctoral degrees, our online certificate programs, our combined degree programs for our undergraduate students, and then also has links to our badges. Let me just show you briefly the list of graduate programs that we have. So you should be able to see the master's and doctoral degree programs. Courtney, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. When you come to this page, the information that's provided here includes information for all 46 graduate programs. It gives you what the delivery mode is, whether it's face-to-face, hybrid, online. It tells you who the contact person is. We have a graduate program director for all of our graduate programs. That person is the contact person. And then on the right side of the screen, you should see information about applying now, requesting info, and then listening to the podcast. And as you work your way down, you can see the wide range of programs that we have that are science-based, computer-based, based in education. We have a number of health profession programs, our nursing programs, and you can see all this information. And one of the things that I guess I'd like to do is show you, if you click on, for example, public health, and you go to the public health page, and Courtney, I'm hoping you can see this page.
I can.
Okay, great. It gets a little bit more in depth. It provides more information to the prospective student about the format, the number of credits, the course length, It gives you some background information about why it would be important to get interested in public health, why study public health. And then you can go one level further and you can get down to program details. And when you get down to program details, you can see here's the link to the podcast. There's a program overview, why study public health, skills employers want. There's information about application, admission requirements, coursework that you get involved in. And on every program page, you'll find a really cool link that will allow you to compare this program to maybe another program. So I'm not going to click on it now, but you could click on this button over here that says compare this program, and you can pick other programs at Grand Valley to make a comparison to. So maybe you're not sure that you want to major in public health. Maybe you want health informatics and bioinformatics, or maybe you want health administration. You could select those three programs and it'll give a comparison about the number of credits, whether it's a fully face-to-face, a hybrid, online program. And you can really get the information that's critical to helping you make a decision about what program might be the best fit for you. So let me stop my share. Excuse me. Let me do a new share. Let me go back to this screen. And let me stop briefly. Courtney, are there any questions in the chat box that have to deal with any of the information that I've just brought up now?
Not at this time, but if anybody does have questions, you can drop them in the chat and we'll pop them in for Jeff as we go.
Okay, great. All right, so let's talk about the grad school. When you come to Grand Valley, there are so many areas of support to help you be successful. Or if you're listening tonight that you might want to recommend this graduate programs to another individual, please tell them that we are here to help them be successful. There are support mechanisms within each graduate program, the academic unit that that program is contained in, the academic college that that program is contained in, and throughout the university. What I'd like to speak specifically to right now is how the grad school can help you be successful. We support all aspects of graduate education. We do orientations, we provide seminars, we provide co-curricular opportunities. We provide funding support. There are graduate assistantships that individuals can apply for. Those graduate assistantships include a stipend that is at least $8,000 a year, plus a tuition remission of up to 9 credits each semester, a total of 18 credits if you get a 9-month graduate assistantship, 21 credits if you get a 10-month graduate assistantship, and 24 credits if you get an 11-month graduate assistantship. So very valuable to helping students support their education. Our presidential research grants provide support for students to conduct independent research, research for a project, research for their thesis, research for their dissertation. And with that presidential research grant also comes support to go and present that information at a professional conference. And then we have separate academic conference funds that are available to allow students to go to conference and present their scholarship. We provide support to the Graduate Student Association. Their primary mission is to help graduate students be successful in graduate school. And then we produce a lot of materials for success. We have our link here at the bottom of this slide, and I promised Courtney that I would share this slide deck with her after we're done, and she can share it with the attendees. So I'm going to skip going to the grad school website, but when you go to the grad school website, you can navigate all the various links, and you can provide support. You can find where we provide support for our incoming students, our continuing students. We have a lot of support that's out there for students with respect to health, with respect to finding answers to questions. I really think one of the jewels of the graduate school is the information that's actually provided on our website. And I give all the credit to our staff and to our graduate students who maintain that information. They do a phenomenal job of updating the materials that you'll find on those pages.
Jeff, we do have one question that's popped.
Sure, Chris, go ahead.
Kathy Agee, who works at the Regional Math and Science Center, has a question about how can the Regional Math and Science Center support grad programs?
That's a great question. I think the first step would be to find out where it would be best to share information from the Regional Math and Science Center on our various web pages. Find out as a second step how we can then share that with our students in new graduate student orientation. And if we do those two things to get us started, I'm sure there'll be other ways that'll come up. But I think having it on our website, identifying it in the new graduate student orientation, and then the two things that you see on the screen here, the two documents that we produced, the grad student guidebook and the advising guidebook, find out where we can put that information in both of these documents. Because these two documents, I think, are critical for graduate student success. We update them every year. And if you look in the lower right corner of each of the documents, I'm showing you the 2020-21 documents. We're in the process of revising these and updating these for the next academic year. But in these two documents, you will find a wealth of information that can help graduate students be successful. And one of the nice things about these documents is every time we talk about a particular unit, a particular website, a particular resource, all the links are hyperlinked so that you can click on those links and it'll take you to that website, or it'll open the document up as a PDF. Students have told us that saves them so much time when they're trying to use these documents to either guide them through what it's like to be a graduate student or help with advising and figuring out their programs of study and what's important for them. So Chris, did that cover the answer to the question, I think?
I believe so. Kathy, if you need more for that, please feel free to speak up and Jeff can further elaborate.
For sure.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
So I talked about these academic support services. We are working really, really hard to make sure that we provide the support that our graduate students need to be successful on our Allendale campus, our Pew campus, and our health campus. We've got a nice cluster of buildings up on the corner of Lafayette and Michigan. And I think that when students see what's available, when they're able to come back and be more face-to-face, they're going to be really impressed with what the opportunities are up on the Health Hill. We've expanded our offerings down on the DeVos campus so that we are able to make sure that when a student walks into the facility, they know where to go to get support for career advising, or where they might need to get support for advising their academic programs within the programs that are on the DeVos campus. And then of course, out in the Allendale campus, the majority of our graduate programs are actually on the DeVos campus and on the health campus, but we still have a number of programs that are out on the Allendale campus. And we want to make sure that we support our graduate students out there as well. So what are, for example, some of these support services? Well, Statistical Consulting Center. This is where graduate students can go to get help with designing a research project or scholarly project, identifying how to help collect data for that project, whether it's quantitative or qualitative, and then how you analyze those data and how you report out on those data. I had a consultant for my statistical work when I was in grad school for my master's and doctoral degree. They were so helpful. I work with the people in the Stats Consulting Center. They are wonderful individuals. They are receptive to your questions. They're attentive to your needs, and I think very supportive of what you want to try to accomplish. We have the Fred Meyer Center for Writing and Michigan Authors. When a student connects with the Fred Meyer Center, you want to make sure that you tell them, if you're interested in this, that you're a graduate student, because they will make sure that you are aligned with an individual who has been trained to work with graduate students. And that's so helpful because, you know, writing for graduate programs is oftentimes very different than how students were trained to write as an undergraduate student. The writing that, for example, students do in cell and molecular biology is a lot different than the writing that students might do in, say, social innovation graduate program or in social work. So they're trained to help you write for the discipline that you're involved in. The GVSU Speech Lab, phenomenal facility, great resource to help you maybe overcome the anxiety that you might have in delivering a speech, your nervousness. They help you put the speech together. They will record you and then sit down with you and go over what you've said, how you've said it, the mannerisms that you have. And we all have those mannerisms when we're giving a speech, and sometimes we don't even know what they are. We have library liaisons for each of our 46 graduate programs. So there's somebody trained at the library that is able to help our graduate students identify the resources that they need and help them figure out how they get those resources, either from Grand Valley or if it's from another institution. And then we have the Center for Scholarly and Creative Excellence. This is where students can go to get additional support in their project work, their thesis work, their dissertation work. They can try to identify additional resources external to the university that might support their research. We've had really good success with our graduate students getting external funding from the Michigan Space Grant Consortium as one example to help students do research all across Michigan. And so I'm going to finish up with my presentation today talking a little bit about what I think it is important for being successful as a graduate student. And I'll start by saying this. When you're in graduate school, or if you're helping someone that's in graduate school, you want to tell them to go to class. You want to tell them to do their papers. You want to tell them to take their exams. You want to tell them to be involved in the discussions. We really want students to do that. And that's really important. But I think if that's all a student does, then they're missing a large part of what graduate education is all about. And I think it's those extra things that come along with the coursework, but also come along with the university and the graduate program. So we have a lot of graduate program events that are offered by the graduate program, the academic unit, the college, and the graduate school. You need to go to those kinds of events. We have PACES programs that are co-curricular programs that teach students the things that you maybe don't learn in class. I'll give you a perfect example. Every year, we offer a golf outing so that individuals who have never played golf and don't understand the nuances and the intricacies, or maybe even the etiquette about a golf outing at a business or a company and what you do and what you don't do. And it's wildly successful. We can only have a limited number of students and it fills up every time because we teach you a little bit about playing golf and we teach you a little bit about the etiquette surrounding those types of social events. And then you go play golf. And we have faculty that come and are paired with our students, and it's phenomenal. You need to go to a thesis or dissertation proposal in defense to see what it's like. We have a 3MT competition, which is our 3-minute thesis competition, where students get up in front of an audience, either virtually or face-to-face, and they tell the audience about their research and what they've done, and they have 3 minutes to do that. We have a grad showcase where we open it up for all of our graduate students to show what they've done in their research, in their thesis, in their dissertation. I talked a little bit about the presidential research grants, the academic conference funds. Apply for those funds. The success rate is really, really high. So 95% of the students that apply for a presidential research grant or an academic conference fund get funded. You can learn a lot about submitting a proposal. Get involved in the Graduate Student Association and your local student organizations. Get involved in university governance. Each year we have about 10 to 12 graduate students that are on university committees. They're on graduate council, they're on faculty salary and budget committee, they're on the library committee. They're on committees where you can make a difference and make some change. And we can even have students get involved in the Cook Leadership Academy. If you think you want to be a leader, right? If you think you want to be a director of something, or you want to be a manager, if you think you want to lead research, get involved in the Cook Leadership Academy. This is just a smattering of things that you can get involved with and opportunities that you can become engaged with. Yes, I want you to go to class. Yes, I want you to turn in your papers and do your exams, all the things that are associated with that. But I really want you to get involved and be engaged, because that's where you really learn a lot about what's involved in graduate education. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I am more than happy to answer